To my left, your right, Bibi Mohamed. Our Vice Presidential candidate, Torres. To your left, Angelica. Torres. And our Vice President candidate, Angelica Garcia. So the way the process works is they flip the coin and they have an opening statement, and then they will begin the question and answer. Bibi, you had the opportunity to begin with an opening statement, so the microphone is yours.
All right, before you begin, let's remind everyone how this is going to work. Bibi is going to have 2 minutes to open, followed by Angelica for 2 minutes. Then we are going to rotate between the two candidates with a series of questions. Angelica will answer the first question, followed by Bibi. They will be responding to the exact same question. At the conclusion of the questions, Angelica will be the first with her closing statement, and then followed by Bibi. What I would like you to do is please refrain from hooting and hollering, clapping while they're speaking or after they're speaking. I have a countdown timer for 2 minutes. I will give you a hand signal when you're getting close. At 2 minutes, I am going to say, time's up.
Hi, as you all know, I'm Bibi Mohamed, and I'm a presidential candidate for the school year of 2018-2019. And this is my running mate, aka Vice President Torres. We wanted to let all of you know that in voting for us, we're going to give IB the voice that it deserves. Because as you know, other organizations, other schools are trying to make us look bad and shut us down, which isn't fair at all. And we all deserve a voice. After coming from New York, I dropped out of high school, and I-Lead was my second chance. And I want you all to have what I had there, the fun and the experiences that high school comes with, and to be proud of where you go to school. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I will give you a 30-second warning so you'll know. If you do not have to take all 2 minutes, okay? Angelica, you're up next.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Angelica Torres, and sitting next to me is my Vice President, Angelica Garcia. And we both have many great plans, and we plan on showing you them. And we plan on making the school year great. For example, having more educational field trips, clubs, etc. And we believe that you all have a voice, and we believe you all could live up to them. And we want to make sure this year can strive and make sure we make this a good year.
Thank you very much. Okay, now it's time for the questioning round. And Angelica, each of the contestants were given a series of topics that they became familiar with, but they do not know what the questions are. So they had some opportunities to do some research over the last 24 hours. Angelica and Bibi, this will also be your question. It's with regards to dress code. What is the most important quality or reason for a school to have a dress code?
Me personally, I feel like dress code shows discipline, and it's better for kids to have dress codes because, again, discipline reasons. And it just shows that you're growing up to be more of a professional person. And I mean, later in life, you're going to be wearing uniforms, so wherever career you're going to be going forward as when you graduate. So having, for example, the high, just wearing whatever you want, I feel like that just shows lack of, what is the word? Lack of profession.
Is that it? Thank you very much. Bibi? Same question, Bibi. Dress code. What is the most important quality or reason for a school to have a dress code?
In high school, high school's a time in our lives where we're growing up and we're seeing things, and we have our little groups of friends and stuff like that. And I feel like bullying is the #1 reason why dress code is important, because not only does it, everyone wears the same thing, the same uniform every day of the school year, so there's no room for bullying. I mean, obviously it doesn't completely end it, but it definitely helps prevent some bullying. I also believe that, agreeing to what Angelica said, it shows that you're maturing. When you grow into, we're going to enter the workforce after high school. We're going to go to college and have professional jobs and careers. Showing that, we can handle dressing the same way every day in high school, it says something about your character.
Thank you very much. Have you guys settled down yet? Still nervous? Should we ask the vice presidents a question? Yes? No? Not yet. Okay, so Bibi, you're up at this time. All right, this topic is going to be on community service. All right. Okay. Increasing participation in community service events is important. What experience do you have in getting others involved in giving back to the community?
For example, I lived in New York for about 16 years, and I lived there my whole life. I went to elementary school, middle school, high school, and in my time there in high school, I organized a car wash, and in middle school, I organized a fashion show, in a cultural fashion show. So doing those things, it really got my peers out there. It said, okay, well, this is who we are. We're all different, but we're from the same place, and that makes us the same, and it makes us all, a family, a community. What I wanted to bring to iLead is I wanted the students to get more involved in the community in a sense where, the little things matter. Doing something in the summer like as small as a lemonade stand, or in the winter as, a hot chocolate station. After school, or when Penn Street has their little market and the concerts, those things will get iLead's name out there.
Thank you very much. Angelica? It's going to be the same question on community service. Increasing participation in community service events is important. What experience do you have in getting others involved in giving back to the community?
Well, for me, I participated in Cups for Compassion for about 3 years now. And with me, if I do become president, excuse me, I personally want to, as she said, be more out there in the community. I mean, we could do simple things like she said, a car wash. We could have little things for like Earth Day, get the courtyard looking beautiful again. Just like Bibi said again, small things matter. And I feel like we could get this school really going and get the word out there.
Thank you very much. So Alexa, how do you feel?
I will kick you out right now.
Okay, we'll stay with the presidential candidates. All right. This one, Angelica, you will go first. This is representative of the core values. How have the core values guided you in becoming the best presidential candidate for iLead Charter School?
They have guided me because every day, as many of you students know, in the morning, then announcements go on, and every day you would hear the core values going, and that's how I remembered all 9. And that would just motivate me even more to represent those core values: learning, creativity, service. Right now, I could say I represent almost all of them, maybe all of them to some people. But
Thank you. Okay, core values as well. How have the core values guided you in becoming the best presidential candidate at Ivy Charter School?
So first and foremost, I am a very honest person, and I never stray away from the truth. It's one of my personal, it's one of my traits. If you ask anybody, they'll tell you the first thing they know about me is that I'm always honest, regardless of who I'm speaking to or what I'm speaking about. And I have respect for everybody. And I feel like I do represent all 9 core values because they're all important, and that's why they're core values. You learn how to present yourself to people in high school, and that goes along with you as you go through life.
Thank you very much. I believe we're on question 4, and Bibi, this is you. Okay? It's on school culture. And this is kind of important to me. So during lunches, we have students who sit by themselves or with just one other person. How do we make all students feel welcome and comfortable, especially finding a person to eat with?
Personally, last year I sat alone during lunch, not because, I wanted to be alone or by myself or anything was wrong. I like watching movies, so I watch a lot of Netflix, and it's hard to watch Netflix and talk to your friends. But in that case, I would say definitely having things after school or even during school, like little programs to help people make friends, like the freshmen and the sophomores. If more people get the chance to know each other, then they'll get the chance to find a friend, and you never know. Maybe you can have little stations like in lunch 4B, you could have lunch in here one day in the auditorium, and everyone could mix and mingle and get to know each other better. So you have people to sit with at lunch.
Thank you very much. Hello again. Same question. During lunches, we have students that sit by themselves or with one other person. How do you make all students feel welcomed and comfortable, especially finding a person to eat with?
with me, my first year here, I used to sit by myself. Again, like you said, not just because I wanted to be alone or just wanted alone time. I feel like we should have little activities in lunch, and we should maybe have some clubs after school so kids can have something to look forward to, and then they can make friends there and just have everybody get closer together.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're down to the last two questions, and Angelica, you're gonna go first here. That's fine. It's like musical chairs. Sit up, sit down, sit up, sit down. Aerobics. Mr. Sands would be very proud that you guys are getting your exercise in today. So this one's on events. How do you get more learners to help prepare and plan events?
Well, I feel like we should have discussions more earlier than the event. And yeah, again, have more discussions, have more meetings after school or during school. And just have more discussions with facilitators, that are involved with those activities. And
thank you very much. Same question. How do you get more learners to help prepare and plan events?
I think a big part of it lies on how fun the event is going to be. Last year I know that they had a no smoking, like a carnival against, fighting smoking and tobacco. And I didn't go myself, but I heard from everybody that it was so much fun. And I feel like because of how fun the event was going to be and how much help they needed, just going around asking students, hey, would you mind helping out in this event? Or hey, would you mind doing this? It's a good thing that you can put it on your resume or even your college application. You helped plan events, you helped out where you needed to, and that can also help in the seniors who need to get their community service hours. Mentioning that will definitely get more students involved.
Thank you very much. You can say that. Okay, this is the final question. Yeah, Mr. DeSimone wanted to make sure that we got the current event topic in here. I know that he really wants me to ask something about Judge Kavanaugh, but I'm not going to do so because, yeah, we could be here all day, okay? The current event topic that I would like us to discuss, or both of you to discuss, is a little bit more relevant to your lives. With the issues that surrounded the last presidential election and the potential for foreign countries to do something about the outcomes of our election, should the state of Pennsylvania and/or the United States of America move to an online voting system?
No. And I support that with the fact that if we move to an online voting system, having everything digital at the touch of our fingers is great. But there are a lot of complications that come with that. What if the system shuts down? Or what if we get hacked? And it's very possible because there are people in the world who, that's what they do for a living. They hack and they mess things up solely because that's just who they are, or that's just what they want to do. And I don't think it's a good idea at all.
Thank you very much. Angelica, same question, okay? Should the state of Pennsylvania and/or the United States of America move to an online voting system?
No. I agree with Bibi 100%. People hack websites on the daily, 24/7, every day, every month, every year. And it's not safe because, I mean, what if one of us votes and our vote get hacked? Then that falls on us. And again, agree 100% with Bibi. You shouldn't.
All right, I have a follow-up question to this for both of you. I'm going to start with Angelica and I'll come back to you. With the large number of Americans who do not vote, why should we not move to an online system? Wouldn't it be much more convenient for Americans to be able to choose their elected representatives?
Well, I mean, can you repeat that question again?
I will try because I didn't write that down, okay? But the large number of Americans that do not vote in elections, and we have one coming up in a month, why shouldn't the governments of the United States move to a system to encourage more Americans to vote? Why is hacking the only reason we should not?
Because, I mean, everyone has the right to do what they desire to do. And if people don't want to do it online, then, I mean, they should have the right to do it in person.
Thank you. Bibi? Same thing. With large numbers of Americans not voting, why shouldn't the government of the United States or Pennsylvania, or any state for that matter, go to a complete online voting system to encourage more people to participate?
I feel like everybody knows that not all Americans and not everybody in this country has electronics that are accessible, and they can't get to, maybe they can't get to a library to use a computer, or they don't have phones or internet access, and going in person to vote is the better option, solely because, well, not solely because, there are multiple reasons, because hacking, not enough access for everybody, and it's a better way to do things.
Thank you very much. Being on the hot seat is something that is very difficult. To be able to think on your feet is a great skill that you have to learn. I think both of you did remarkable jobs. This is your opportunity, last opportunity, for you to speak to the audience with your closing statements. As we agreed, Angelica, you get to start the closing and say what you have to the voters out in the audience, and Bibi will get to close out the closing arguments. All right? Good luck.
So for all of you that are out here, I just want you guys to know, and we agreed on this, this is, whoever you choose, the school will be in good hands. If I'm president or if she's president, it's always going to be in good hands. And whoever wins, all of us are still going to be around to help. And I have a lot to bring on the table, and I really want to show you guys, because I know you all have a voice, and me, my vice president, could be your voice if you just believe in us.
Go, girl.
Bibi, you get to close out the session.
As Angie said, we're literally all in this together. According to High School Musical. Well, anyways, we're a school. That means everyone here, regardless if you like it or not, everyone here is a part of is going to be a part of your school's experience. And being that even if I lose and Angie wins, or if Angie loses and I win, we're all going to be involved in the decision making and student government. So I want all of the underclassmen and the upperclassmen to get the same experience as you would if you went to Reading High or if you went somewhere else. And that's what me and Andreas have to offer.
So I want to thank the candidates, Bibi and Angelica, and their vice presidential candidates, Andres and Alexis. The process is going to work like this now. Tomorrow morning in homeroom, and maybe during some of your social studies classes, Mr. White will have the video ready. We'll play this video again. You guys saw it live, but then the rest of the school is going to see it, in homeroom or in social studies classes. That'll be tomorrow. And then Friday morning, just like last week, we'll vote. But now there's only 2 candidates. Obviously, the candidates that are up here. I will collect those from the homeroom facilitators in my prep in 3rd block. I will count those up. I will bring them to the administrators and we'll confirm those votes. And then you'll know who the winner of the presidential race is for SGA by the assembly on Friday afternoon. And I believe that's around 12:15 if I'm not mistaken.
By 1:30.
By 1:30, we'll know who the president is. All right? So once again, let's give these candidates a round of applause and thank you for coming.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank again the audience, our guests, our distinguished guests, all of our facilitators. One more round of applause for our candidates. Crew, the hard work that they put into our Husky News, who's going to do live coverage and our weekly Husky News coverage. Finally, as it was noted, SGA will grow as part of this. The president-elect will select their cabinet. If you are interested in being part of SGA, see Mr. DeSimone after the elections on Friday, because the president needs a full cabinet to run the organization. So this is part of the process. President, Vice President, there are cabinet membership that has to be filled within the cabinet. 15 members that have to be included to make sure that the school is running in full operation. So one of these 2 candidates will be the president and their vice president, but there are many seats to be filled. So if you are interested, please, after Friday, see Mr. DeSimone and or the president-elect. Again, I want to thank you. I want to, again, vote, because your voice means the best. It is the most powerful tool you have, not only here, but also out in the public. Okay? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Wait for the bell for dismissal.
Right, back to class. Yeah. Good to see you guys.